All right, so welcome everyone to our weekly, it seems like our weekly Arts Academy podcast. So we have a few people here today for you guys, and as always, put your comments or your questions in the chat, and we'll get to all those. I didn't really have a terribly big agenda today. Welcome back from spring break. Hope everybody's doing well and staying safe and doing the best that you can in this situation. I'm sure you all have heard that we're definitely not coming back until before May 15th. So, we definitely have at least another couple weeks of this. The marking period ends on Friday. The teachers have another few days. I believe grades have to be closed and in by next Thursday, so we get about a week to put everything in there. So make sure you're getting all your work done. Make sure you're passing all your classes. And anybody ever have any like formal business before we just start chatting? Or
I have questions. Can I do a couple of questions?
Sure.
Okay. So one, I was wondering if you guys had any suggestions on how to do an online test and what's the best platform if, let's say, I want to give like other than the Google survey, is there a really good online test platform?
Personally, Urbano and I use a math-specific program, so that works out really well for us. I know Mr. Chardy's been using Google Forms inside of Google Classroom to do like math quizzes and things like that.
One sec. Hello. Sorry, that was to Vince coming in. What, I wonder if I could use the math-specific one, maybe for physics.
You'd have to find a textbook to link it to, and if we actually paid for it. So I know doesn't Google use Mastering Physics? Pearson's other product.
I'm on a conference thing. So, all right, so I've used Google Forms, but it's limited.
Have you used Mastering Physics before?
No.
Maybe that's something.
So there's a
I don't know.
Physics.
It's a Pearson product. I don't know too much about it because I've never used it, but I know it runs off the same platform that our program MathXL runs off of. So you can take a look at that. It might not be free. You might have to pay for it, or the schoolhouse might have to pay for it.
Steve, does that sound feasible for me to?
What's the issue? What's the issue with the Google form?
I mean, as far as the test is concerned, I was thinking if it was a little bit, just for instance, like formulas, writing, putting formulas into it and showing where they could write out, it's limited.
You can talk about the Google extension, Steve.
Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. So on Google Forms, there's an extension called Equatio, I think I don't know. It's supposed to be like equation, Equatio, yeah, something like that.
Equatio.
Capital IO. And the kids can download it too.
Okay.
So teachers can download it. It's free for teachers right now. I just signed up for the free copy of it.
Okay.
And the kids can download it also for free.
And how do Equatio?
Equatio. Basically you do any kind of equations, math equations. I'm sure physics equations also.
It's equation without the N at the end.
Yeah.
EQUATIO.
I can send it to you in an email if you need.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
But it works right through. It's a Google extension, so it works right through Google Forms. Very simple to use.
It's basically just like a math type kind of thing. So it's
Exactly.
easier for students to type in an equation. Yeah, like an equation editor.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, we used to use math type with Microsoft Word, right? Back in the day.
And now they have it built in. Now they have
it's all built in. That's in my opinion, that's the best one. But there's a bunch. If you just type in math equations, there are a bunch of extensions that'll come up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's the best one for Word. Is just the built-in one for Word. But if the students are using like Google Docs, then you want the Google extension.
Right, because their Chromebooks don't use Microsoft Word, I think.
No.
They just use Docs, yeah.
Yeah,
Docs.
use Docs. So I guess that would be the best thing. All right. That's good. Oh, one other question, because I had two. I know that Joe had mentioned that we should not do any FaceTime type thing, like Zoom with the students, where we could see them and see into their house. I remember that kind of early on that he did not want that. Is that still the case?
No, that changed. You can do
Okay.
Zoom as of right now, but I'm pretty sure that's I don't think the district is going to allow Zoom anymore, just because of the issues that they've been having with people kind of hacking into the Zoom sessions. So our district may actually disallow Zoom moving forward. That official word hasn't come out, but I'm pretty sure it's going to.
Okay.
What you can use though, as part of Google, is Google Chat, the Google Hangout, and then you can record it. It depends on what you're looking to do. If you're looking to do just you and one student, you can use Google Chat and record it.
So chat is good for one student, right?
Yeah, chat is good for one. You can do Google Meet if you're going to meet with one student also, or with a group of students.
And
so there's a couple different options.
So
yeah, I've personally.
Should I meet with Google Meets? Should I try
Google Meet would be if you're going to do like your whole class.
Yeah.
Okay, so Meet.
I don't know what you're looking to do. If you're looking to do like a one-on-one session, or if you're looking to do your whole class.
Like a 6 at a time kind of thing for different class, like just like,
It's probably easier to do Google Meet.
Google
Like for
Meet.
example, the other day, Cleesh and I had to get together and talk about something. He just messaged me, and we had a Google chat. And then the other day I was on with Bushio. He had a question about a student. So we actually, the two of us, we called Dr. Jamarella right through Google Chat. So the three of us were on Google Chat at the same time.
Okay.
So what the district is asking is if you're doing anything like that, where you have yourself and any of the students where they're showing their screen for the teacher to record it. And there's a couple different extensions also. I can send you the extensions, and those recordings will go right into your Google Drive.
Okay.
Shep, did you have anything else that you were using to meet with the students, or?
I've been using Google Meet. Actually.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was. Most of us are using that too. So.
Okay. That sounds good.
Yeah, there's a couple different options. What's up, Shep?
What's going on?
Hey.
How's everybody doing?
Hello. Yeah, we're good. Good.
Good.
This is just strange. It's just strange.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So.
Please, you quiet. What's up?
I'm tired.
I love your coffee.
He's been working all day.
They're great.
I do know that that Google Meets keeps updating, and now they have like the grid option, kind of like Zoom, that everybody's like real fond of. So you can put everybody on the screen now.
Okay.
I know they made their waiting room more secure, where only if you name your meeting instead of just leaving that blank, if you actually name your Google Meet meeting, name it whatever you want, it doesn't matter. But if you are the person that named it, now only you can mute people or present your screen. So in the older ones, I don't even remember, our first staff meeting was people kept muting each other, and like that was
be annoying.
So they've definitely been improving that product over the last couple of weeks. So I've had pretty good luck with that.
Okay, great.
I'm using WebEx at Bergen, and it works pretty well, actually.
Yeah,
it has a lot of features that I don't know how to use yet. I didn't get there yet. All right, what's that background in the back?
All right, you guys want to go over some just general announcements? I see some questions coming up. If anybody needs to go to the building for any reason, they can call security. The security number, you can email me, Mr. Gongora, or your guidance counselors. We can get you that security number. Still, there's some kids that have reached out, I guess, about tech-related issues. If your Chromebook isn't working or you have anything tech-related, reach out to your guidance counselor. They can put in a tech request for you. So that's something else that I wrote down to talk about. Most importantly, you have a whole bunch of teachers on here. If anybody is behind on their work, I see a couple comments. Shep, I'm getting work to you, and I owe you work. All that work really should be in by tomorrow. All right, so that teachers can get that stuff and get the grades into Power School. Teachers have to get grades in next week, and then I believe report cards are going to be sent out on Friday. So this podcast will be sent out to all the parents and students later on. Mr. Gongora is going to send it out, but that's very important. If anybody is behind on work, reach out to your teacher, talk to your teacher, see if there's still an opportunity to make up work. If you don't make any attempt to make it up, you're probably going to get a 0. So reach out to your teacher. Maybe they'll give you an opportunity to get half credit, or, or 10 points off or 20 points off, something like that. What else? What was the other thing? Governor Murphy, you guys may have listened to him today. I didn't listen today, but I think May 15th is still the date that he's going to reassess on May 15th. Those are the 4 things that I wrote down.
Do you want to talk real quick about scheduling?
Yeah, scheduling's a work in progress. I don't want to give too many specifics because it's still changing. We're working on scheduling. I did see that there was a student comment about switching majors. That will all be done through the scheduling process. That's going to be done on Power School. So the portal will open up and you'll be able to do that. It's not ready yet. The administrators were working on it this week. Mr. Ra takes care of a lot of that stuff. So we give him the information and he generates the list for the grades. Freshman, sophomore, juniors, obviously seniors aren't picking classes for next year. So that hopefully will be out within the next 2 weeks. And then I see a question about reentry. As of right now, there is no plan other than we're waiting for Governor Murphy to make a decision on May 15th, whether to extend it, and then at that point, how long it would extend, if he extends it all. So that's really up to him, and that's been the decision of the district to basically play off of what the state is asking us to do. So I think that answers everything else. If you guys have anything else to add.
No, just a couple, switching majors, right? There's still going to be the same process where you're going to have to apply to switch majors. As far as choosing your classes, right? As a senior, you have the most flexibility. Sophomores, incoming freshmen really don't have any choice. Sophomores really have very little that they're able to do. And then juniors and seniors especially have a little bit more flexibility in what you want to take. And that'll all be part of the scheduling portal whenever it is ready. So
along with that, a couple of people asked me if I knew what electives were available to them, the rising seniors. So I have no idea.
I don't want to totally commit to electives. All I will say is there will be more electives than there ever have been, especially for seniors. But I don't want to commit to electives because things are changing based on the teachers that are offering the electives. So I don't want to say this is running. I want to let the kids see it when they get that course outline, I guess. There will be a printout of 1 or 2 sentences for each of the courses based on the electives. But there will be a lot more senior electives this year.
Yeah. This from Molly, I have no idea about that. I can ask Miss Mincer. I can text her and see what the plan is for that. If we don't go back into school this year, even if we do, I'm not sure if we can get the company to come in to take the pictures. So we might have to do it first thing next year. But I'm sure she's thought about that for the yearbook. So I'll text her and ask her.
Yeah, and I see Emily just said prom's definitely not happening. I don't want to commit to it not happening. Again, the longer we're out, the more likelihood that it definitely isn't going to happen, at least the way that it was originally planned. If we can get back in the building in June and some of the recommendations from the governor and the health officials somewhat dissipate, I guess, then maybe we can do something. But I think, as planned, I don't think that's going to happen specifically for that. And then Minecraft graduation, I don't know what that means, but
you don't know what that means.
I don't know what a Minecraft. Urbano, go ahead. Tell us what a Minecraft graduation.
I think they just make up their own little characters on screen and they walk up to.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Like an emoji graduation?
Like on Minecraft.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that.
Avatar.
I can't comment on
Mind
that.
prep prom too, Emily. Maybe. I don't
It's
know.
an avatar.
And an avatar emoji graduation kind of thing.
I could tell you that I got an email from Miss Loft saying the junior prom is pretty much out this year. So
Well, I
I don't know
don't think
about junior prom though.
they probably didn't even pay the deposit yet. So
No, they did. We
Oh, they did?
actually
I think both deposits were paid. Yeah.
but we got it back. I think
Okay,
that was
that's
going to
good.
give us a credit on something. So they're going to work on that for next year. But I don't know about the seniors this year for senior prom.
I think everything always comes back to what the governor and the health department decide is the right thing to do for everybody. So whenever we get all that guidance, we'll have better answers for all the students. So,
All right. Any other questions before I go for my bike ride? And you guys can take over. Virtual prom. Listen, we could maybe make that happen. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
a lot of
that
ideas floating around the country. People doing different things for prom and graduation ceremony. So
if you guys have any ideas, just reach out to student council or really anybody that can pass the information along. And we're trying to think of things. It's just really hard to plan for, we don't know when things are going to go back to normal. So, but we are really trying to have options for backup plans on prom. And I'm sure admin has been talking about graduation and what to do there. So it's really just hard because we don't know anything. But if you do have any ideas, you really want a virtual prom or something, just email us and then we'll try to do something. Information.
Jen had a question about elections. Any plan for that, or is that something that might get pushed to the next year?
Yeah, we haven't actually talked about it. I guess it's just not a high priority right now. But I mean,
throw it
we'll
to Melissa and see, get her thinking about it a little bit.
Yeah, that is something we could do virtually, I guess. So yeah, I mean, we'll look into it for sure.
And in terms of graduation, we have thrown around a bunch of ideas. Dr. Giamarella did speak with the other principals in the district. And I think they also have a call out to, I guess, the director of education for the state has kind of a roundtable discussion. And they've been giving out ideas like best practices, how to do safe graduations. So I don't know what they're going to come up with, but they're definitely trying to do that. Ms. Reyes, I see yearbooks will be mailed. Tom, maybe we could ask Ms. Mincer because she's in charge of that.
I think they're also coming up with a plan for the yearbooks as well. They're working with like the graduation plan and all that. I don't know what's happening, and but it was mentioned. So we're trying to work with them in student council too.
Yeah. Bruce, did you want to sort of address this? From Ms. Willingham, what kind of support are we providing for students struggling with working from home? I mean, one thing that I'm trying to really do is keep my schedule open for anybody that needs math help. Not even in my classes. Like I've helped tutor some kids in Algebra 1. And I think student council was also putting together a peer tutoring list. I don't know if that was you guys or if that was guidance.
Yeah, we have the peer. We still have the peer tutoring going on, and the counselors. I know I am checking my email at all times, and if a kid is struggling at home with a certain subject, then I go straight to that teacher and we work together.
Yeah,
it's hard, but we do the best we can and just try to give the best guidance that we can.
And as far as like, the work atmosphere, we had a couple of students. We had Quincy on here on Friday or right before spring break, to talk a little bit about how to keep yourself organized, how to make it so that you can fit all of your work into your schedule and meet the deadlines that the teachers are giving to you. If there's more, if somebody's struggling with something like that, definitely you can reach out to your guidance counselor or one of your teachers who you think has got it together a little bit and maybe ask for a little bit of advice about how to keep organized and
it doesn't just have to be
work.
through email. We could do, myself and Ms. Alvarez can do a Google Meets with the student. So it could be more like this, where it's face-to-face kind of, and it's maybe more reassuring that instead of just typing in an email.
Yeah.
Keep Quincy as president for next year as well.
Sometimes, actually, it's been kind of like a student council, or this junior student council has the option of keeping their council for the next year. That's sometimes happened in the past, so it's really up to the student council to decide, I think, and you guys, obviously.
I can also say that supporting the students, I'm always available. I let the kids know if they want to talk, they can talk to me. And then if it gets to a point where I feel that it has to be sent over to guidance or anybody else, I'll do that. I'll let them know that. But I think also it's just having contact with the kids. Because a lot of kids are just kind of going a little stir crazy at home, not having anybody to talk to, or just not used to a routine. And they're like up until 3 o'clock in the morning. And I keep telling the kids, if they come up with a routine, it's going to make their life so much easier.
Yeah, I've noticed that's a big problem for a lot of them. They lost sense of the 24-hour clock.
Yeah, let's put this to Molly. Molly,
their schedule's
when did Molly wake up today?
2 o'clock.
Yeah, right, exactly. I think the ones that I've spoken to, I'm trying to encourage them to stay in the waking up early in the morning routine. If not at 6 in the morning, because you have to, be outside waiting for your bus, but at least sometime in the morning so that it's reasonable, so that your body doesn't crash because it's trying to adjust to a wonky schedule. And once you start that way, especially when the weather starts to get a little nicer and it's nice in the mornings, I feel a little more energized when there's a nice sunny morning coming up and the weather is not 22 degrees outside. So,
and snowing,
right.
Like it was this morning.
Yeah,
for me.
So this I think is an issue with a lot of our students is that they wake up, they sign in, and then they just go back to bed and wait until there's something to do, and then stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning. I would say you really got to try to get out of that. Try to be awake when other people are awake. So I mean, probably most of your friends are awake at 2 in the morning anyway, but try to wake up earlier, try to get out, do some exercise, do something. If you go into the PE departments, always posting in body weight workouts that you can do and different routines. There's plenty on YouTube now. Get outside, get some fresh air, some vitamin D.
Yeah.
Your body needs all that stuff. It needs fresh air. You can't be cooped up inside. And I know it's a little colder today, rain and snow, but
living a twilight right now.
Find a jacket, go for a walk.
I think it's also that they're not disconnecting either. They're on their phones or on their computers all the time. They don't disconnect, and it's like constantly on. So I could see that their minds are just racing, going crazy.
Yeah, that's a big issue too. And I noticed even for myself in the beginning, doing a lot of work and just posting a lot of the schoolwork for the students. I'm on the computer looking up sites, and I'm trying to find the work for them. And I decided, it's not really necessary to be on the computer so much. And once I got the hang of the routine for myself in terms of posting the work and then checking the work and then responding to the students, I didn't need that much computer time. And I started actually, and this is something I'm going to suggest to all the performing arts students. I started sitting outside with my guitar, sit outside in my backyard and play music. So, take advantage of being able to do something like that. Even just sitting outside for the sake of whatever. I mean, I barbecued the other day. It was nice enough, so why not?
Definitely.
And it's gonna be a rough week. Lots of rain, a little colder, but the weather's it's gonna turn. It's gonna start getting warmer. It's gonna start getting nicer. So you gotta shake this sort of dull inside sitting staring at your screen all day. You gotta shake that off and get out and run around a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything doesn't
If
matter.
everybody woke up before 2:00, they would have known it was snowing this morning.
Right. Yeah, a little bit of flurries during my morning bike ride, so that's okay. I got kicked off the park this morning.
Oh,
Because I have a bike trail in Saddle River Park behind my house, so I kind of snuck in, thinking I can, go all the way down to the next town, but no, I got turned around. So anyway, it was a shorter ride than usual.
Tom, we got a question. Now that grades are coming out, how do you address A students?
We're trying not to put as much pressure on the students. The teachers aren't trying to put that much pressure on them, knowing that the new environment that they're in. So we're hoping that they perform just as well as if they did if they were in class.
Yeah, hopefully our students that were A students are still A students. The teachers should know that the workload is supposed to be a little bit lighter. They're supposed to be given plenty of time to complete all the assignments. And if there's a bigger problem and something that somebody needs to talk to guidance about or a specific teacher about, please feel free to reach out to Ms. Alvarez, Mr. Brucio, Mr. Chardy, or I, and we can, try to talk to that teacher about any issues that a student might be having. But definitely try to, just keep up with all your work for the end of the marking period. And the teachers all of our teachers are pretty understanding when it comes to the situation that we're all in right now. So I think that pretty much from what I saw in my classes is people who were getting A's are still getting A's. And even some people that were doing really bad have pulled up their grade tremendously and are now doing okay. So good job if that's you.
Yeah, I think this could be a bigger debate and kind of like educational philosophy discussion also, because kids learn differently.
Yeah.
And when it comes to online learning, like not one kid that we had in our classes signed up for an online class. Right at the beginning of the year, they all thought they were going to be sitting in our class, learning from us every day. We didn't think we were going to be doing online classes, so there's an adjustment period for students and obviously for teachers. And I think some students are obviously grasping it better. Maybe they have a little bit more experience with it. They may have taken an online class or two in the past. And some people, just because of everything, the what you have at home may not be the same thing that your classmate has at home. They may have better internet connection. They may have a better, I live in a building. I actually get good internet connection. I'm sure if you lived in another building, you may not get good internet connection. We actually have a tower on our roof, but everyone's different. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of that, if you knew that you didn't have that, you would make adjustments before this. People, my parents specifically, their cable is out. They called Comcast or Optimum, and they don't even have cable right now because they can't even get a cable box. The stores aren't open. So everyone's going through different things. And if your internet were out or something like that, obviously that's going to affect your learning. You can't stream if you don't have good internet. So, it's a whole educational philosophy, whether or not we were even ready for this. The good thing is, from my perspective, at least we're a Google school. We have availability to classroom, and all this stuff was kind of set up. We just had to maximize its capability. But there are other school districts out there that didn't even have this, this platform to even deliver the content. So, we're
the
lucky.
Platform and the equipment, right? We're lucky that everybody has a Chromebook at least.
Yeah.
I know a lot of districts are just giving out packets.
Yeah, they're picking up packets, dropping them off, and things like that.
Yeah.
I know me personally, if I had to go through this as a student, I would hate it. I like the interaction, right? I like hearing the teacher and seeing the teacher and talking with them and watching what they're doing. That was always the way I learned. So this would have been hard for me. So you guys are doing good, just trying to keep up with all this stuff.
To that, if you are having trouble, make sure you are communicating it with your teachers. I feel like every week I
do a discussion question where they literally just have to check in with me and make sure, like, that's where they dump all their questions for the week. And all I ever get is, been doing great. Like, how are you? And so on my end, I think everyone is adjusting pretty well. I even have some students that say, like, I really like this format because it gives me more time. But if you're one of those that are not adjusting well and you really think this is going to affect you negatively, then it's important that you're actually letting us know, because then we can help you and do something about it. Because if I saw that an A student is now getting, whatever, B's or C's, I would definitely be concerned and reach out to that student. But, like, maybe you flew under the radar. Just make sure you're reaching out to us. If not the teachers, then at least your guidance counselors, for sure. Oh, okay, G, thank you. I was worried when G had said that earlier.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because I feel like some of the kids that I've spoken to who initially respond when I ask them how they're doing, they say, "Oh, I'm fine." Dig a little more, and eventually they're like, "Oh my God, I'm going crazy. What am I going to do?" And
Yeah.
So, for all you students out there listening, please be honest up front and just let us know how you're really doing, so we can be here to help you as much as we can. But we can't do it unless you really tell us. And that's what we're here for. We're here for you. So you got to tell us. Especially if we're struggling with the classes.
Definitely. We just got a post about someone who had a grade post. I don't even want to mention it. We're putting their grades out there on the chat. Well, if you need any help, talk to Mr. Buccio and Miss Alvarez. We can definitely get you.
G is mine, so we'll
okay. There you go. There you go. Bush has to follow up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that
come up on my MP list. So
but that's important to know too, because students didn't sign up for this, teachers didn't sign up for this, and even when I went to school, I didn't take a class in teaching online education. All the teaching classes I ever took, the philosophy was always in a classroom. So we're just kind of learning as we go here. So it may be something that I know Mr. Bono may have more experience with teaching online than I do. I'm a lot older, I guess, at this point. So
I didn't want to crack a joke.
Yeah, I know you did. I just threw it out there myself. But I mean, I never did that. I never taught online in this kind of an environment. I never was taught how to teach online. So we're just learning as we go. The nice thing with the math teachers is, we've been sharing ideas, and 2 weeks ago, I guess, or 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point, we had that Friday where the kids didn't really have work, and we did our own professional development stuff. And I just picked up 1 or 2 things from teachers, tried it out. Some ideas I liked, some ideas, I had something that worked better for me already. But I think all that stuff is important, share ideas and throw things out there.
You've been doing great too.
Oh boy. Bono's got jokes for all the older teachers. The old folks.
Ricciardi studied in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, exactly. Jurassic Park. I'm not that old.
Oh my God.
But even like Shep,
I miss all the crazy noise that comes out of when I have the door wide open. I miss all that stuff.
But even for Shep and performing arts, like some of these classes that are really, you have to have your tool, your instrument in your hands to do it, and now we're trying to do it online. Like it's just not.
It's impossible.
It's not the way that this was made to happen.
I set up a virtual concert at Bergen's, and we're probably going to air it next week. I'm still collecting. Today's my last day of classes to collect the final performances and to figure out which one we're going to use and not use. And I'm actually thinking about doing the same thing in May, just so that the kids can have something.
Right.
I think that's a great idea. And I definitely think we should try something like that.
Yeah, I'm just working out the technical aspects of it because the biggest issue that we're dealing with now is the quality.
Like the sound quality
is not good.
Yeah.
Sound quality is not consistent. And you know what? Any of the TV shows that have been on, the one with Elton John, the one with last
not that great.
Them, it varies. I mean, some people use good microphones and a converter, and some people don't use anything. But I think
you can tell.
You can tell the difference. You know, for those who can do it, if you don't have it, it doesn't matter. I think for the purpose of doing this, we just need to do something. And I'm more interested in getting something done. So, you know, I will forego the issue of quality. I was kind of a little bit, bent on making sure, it's gotta sound perfect. But, you know, it doesn't matter. I just want the students to be able to do something.
The Azalea's comment there, if there's something at school that she could use, is there a way to lend that out at all? Or we've never done this before.
Yeah, anything that the students wanted to borrow, not anything, but most of the instruments can be borrowed. It's just, you know, right now the whole issue is access.
Yeah.
And the process. I usually use an instrument loan form that I created 15 years ago, that a student who is borrowing an instrument can actually fill out the form, and I just keep track of that. But it can be done. I don't know if we can. I don't know how we can do it.
Azalea's thrown out a couple questions. Do we have any news on the shows? Obviously, no news on the shows until we find out if we can get back in the building. That would be news on the shows. And then can she borrow percussion stuff? That would be a question for Shep.
Yes. But the question is how.
Right.
The question is how. I think at this point, let's start with a list of what you want to borrow. And then I can talk to Ricciardi or Dr. General about what to do about getting access. Because what I could probably do is gather up the instruments that you need, leave them in the front lobby, and then when you're ready to come pick them up, maybe pick them up that way.
Yeah, because you all you have to do to get to the building, Shep, is just tell Joe and then email Wayne and let him know you're coming. There's usually a security guard just sitting at the front. But then you could sort of go and do whatever you need to do. I just went to the building on Monday. So if as you start to plan this out a little bit, if there's things that people need to borrow, I think we can make that happen.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. And maybe the best way to do that is once it's all planned out, pick one day where everybody comes at a designated time to come get what they need.
Yeah, it's like staggered out all throughout the morning or something.
Exactly. I can just have everything set up and ready to be picked up. So that's a way to do it. We can make it work.
And then obviously if we hear that we're going to be out longer, this will be a great outlet for all the kids to do something and to get something out there. Better than nothing.
Virtual coffee house.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we can do it. I actually really like the idea. So
yeah.
Anyone else?
All right. If there's no more questions, I'm gonna jump off of the podcast. I have some emails to attend to, and then Mr. Cleash, if we have to have a call, we'll have a call.
Okay.
All right, guys. Have a good one, kids, parents.
All right, you too.
Hopefully, we'll see everybody soon.
All right,
We could have a virtual coffee house, or maybe even a real coffee house in June if we can actually be in the building. You know, Shep, even if the kids can get in the building, maybe we could do a virtual coffee house where the kids are on stage. Nobody's in the stands, but we can just stream it.
And stream it, yeah. I would love.
I mean, do something just to get everybody get a performance opportunity.
Yeah, I think that depends on what we're allowed to do from the government.
100%. You're right. You're right. Just wishful thinking, Tom.
Yeah.
But if we're you know, I've heard different plans of maybe bringing the teachers in for some professional development or something like that. If we're not going to bring the students in, maybe we can swing just a small group and do something one day. Who knows? Without knowing, we're all just guessing at things. So
Yeah.
eventually we'll hear what our guidance is from the state and we'll make a solid plan. But
yeah, definitely. All right, I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Easy.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody had anything else that they wanted to close out with. I saw this question from Giovanna. All you need to do is call security, and they can set that up for you. You just would have to go to the school, and security would probably go to your locker and empty it out for a locker. I hope it's not gross, but
Is there any food in there?
I don't know. Well, maybe Ms. Reyes, maybe Luke left a couple sandwiches in his locker. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
I had the same locker all 4 years of high school, and they didn't make us clean it over the summer.
Oh, that's
So
gross.
I just had the same stuff from freshman year, and I cleaned it out.
Well,
Gross.
oh, so Giovanna says there's no food in there. Okay, good. That's
Well,
good.
you know somebody has food in their locker.
Oh yeah, obviously. And it's definitely students in my by my room somewhere.
That's gonna stink.
Yep.
Yeah. It's nice. Giovanna has a nice locker. It's hooked up.
Yeah, some students. You know what? So actually, that would be a good thing to do. Start planning, like almost like a homecoming for when it's time to return. Students could be doing to celebrate the return.
Yeah.
That would be a good thing.
Yeah. I'm just nervous because, well, I just don't know what the climate is going to be like when we return to normal. Like, are gatherings going to be encouraged? Are they going to be discouraged? Like, how does that affect our school life? I mean, we're already gathering. Like, I get that, but
I think it's going to take a while, and especially things like sports, concerts,
right.
you know, movie theaters. Like these things might have to cut down on their attendance. I know that was the one plan in whoever's opening up this week, Texas or Georgia, that they were going to open these places, but they're going to limit the number of people that can go.
I got to go. I'm sorry. I got another meeting to attend. Bye, guys.
See ya.
But I think that the general climate is going to be tough. Like, do you want to go to a movie theater? Do you want to go? You want to support everybody? You want to get out and do things? But when you walk into that situation, are you going to feel like, oh wow, there's so many people around me now? Is this safe for me, or is it, you know, am I nervous?
Well, yeah, I agree. That's a good point. And I think it was Kentucky also that was talking about opening up, and there is this definite climate of fear. People don't know whether it's safe to be in a group, you know, in an environment where there's more than 10 people. Maybe the governors should start thinking about, you know, 10 people at a time kind of thing. I was listening to Governor Cuomo this morning.
Yeah.
He didn't give a detailed plan, but he talked about what they're thinking of in terms of how to reopen. And they're discussing places that have minimal, businesses that have minimal collection of people in them first, and slowly open it up a little bit. Well, take a look at the my Alexa's going crazy over there.
Shep, you can't say that word on a podcast. Now everybody's just going.
I forgot about that. Yeah, but the thing is, I never said it. So I have no idea why it's talking. Anyway, yeah, so he's talking about places that have minimum capacity of people and minimal gatherings. And he said, while that's happening, check the numbers and see, are there any changes? If there are, where's the concentration? Make adjustments according to that, and then do everything based on tiers, and then go to the next tier.
Yeah.
And little by little, and quite honestly, I wasn't saying this before. I didn't say it before, but I was thinking this. Schools will probably be the last to open out of everything, because schools are our number one obligation is the safety of the students.
Yeah.
We probably have the largest, next to concert halls, like you mentioned, concert halls and theaters and arenas and stuff like that. We probably have the single largest capacity of people in a small, in a given space per square foot, if you want to think about it that way. But our paramount focus is the safety of everybody in our building. So
yeah, that's why I think we need to, we need to hope for the best. We need to hope that we're going to get in some capacity in May. And if we can't, then we'll figure out what we're going to do with the rest of the school year. I know, especially in our academy, everybody wants to come in. Everybody wants to do some sort of performance. Everybody wants to go to do some sort of prom, do some sort of graduation. But in the end, we want to keep all the students as safe as possible. So
yeah.
I know it might suck to hear things like that, but we're we're still gonna be positive, and we are gonna do what the state tells us to do. So, keep listening.
Yeah.
For all the students, just keep listening to what the governor says. In the next couple weeks, as we get closer and closer to May 15th, just keep an eye on the news that comes out. It's hard to miss, so keep an eye on the news that comes out every day. And if the governor says something in regards to schools, that's probably what we're going to do. And we'll definitely let you know if there's any change in plans.
Yeah.
So, this was brought up. I've heard this from a couple other states, is like maybe an end of the year sort of wrap up to keep the building very empty. The only problem with that is that if you have a class of freshmen, then there's 25 kids in that class. Luckily, our rooms are kind of the classrooms are a little bit bigger, but some of the other rooms, everybody's sitting right next to each other. So even if you have just the freshmen in one day, in one of the vocational classes, they all might be just sitting just close together. So that's something that that the admin will talk about a little bit once we know what we're allowed to do. So it all gets pushed back to when we're allowed to do anything.
That would be tough to monitor too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I have heard that as a plan in other school districts.
Yeah.
And other states and things like that. Do you guys have anything to leave the students with, or?
Let me respond to Molly and Azalea. No, I took all the food home. Okay? I was smart enough to do that.
I think I still have some Cliff Bars sitting in my desk. But they last forever.
Fridge?
Yeah.
No, I probably did.
I think our fridge was pretty empty.
Okay.
We got rid of that stupid whipped cream that was in there for like 4 months, 5 months. No, it was bad. I think Azalea had one or two, and then
They were unopened?
Yeah, they were unopened. They just went bad.
They go bad? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they go bad. They're a cream product.
It's cream.
Yes. I feel like it's like pressurized. Or
That's not the way it works.
Pressurized cream doesn't go bad.
All right, so we're gonna be signing off. So everybody stay safe, and we'll see you probably. I guess we're gonna try to make these a weekly thing. So Thursday next week, unless there's a big something that comes out that we want you guys all to know. So take it easy, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
And